You guys, I don't know what to believe. This case is so bizarre. I do think that, you know, there's always three sides to a story, right? There's her side, his side, and the truth.
So baby, when you ready, hit my line. Tell me what you wanna do. I know you see I'm feeling you.
You guys, before we get into this topic, I just want to take time to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Also, you guys, be sure to click that notification bell so that you are alerted every time I post a new video. You guys, I have another channel called Brandy B Review TV. I also have a Patreon account. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, my other channel, and also sign up for Patreon, please navigate to the first comment pinned to the top. You guys, I mentioned to you in my Tina Turner review video that I do want to start doing more videos where I'm reviewing famous couples, toxic couples and cases, because I just find it to be very interesting, and apparently you guys do too. I got some really great feedback on my Tina Turner review. Thank you so much for commenting and letting me know, that you really liked it, because I want to kind of turn this channel into that type of channel where I'm talking about these famous cases and, breaking it down. But if you haven't had a chance to watch my Tina Turner review, documentary review video, I'm gonna leave that link in my description so that you can watch that after you watch this one. You guys, I'm going to be censoring the words that I say because, this is sort of like a true crime video that I'm gonna be doing today. And, YouTube is really sensitive nowadays. I don't want the video to get demonetized. I'm not big enough yet to where I can just be on here saying what I wanna say. So I'm gonna be keeping it cute and classy. All right, so now let's get into it. Are you guys familiar with the Jodi Arias case? I actually came across this video on YouTube about Miss Jodi, and it was actually this video breaking down the most profound moments during her trial. So I thought it would be a great idea, since I want to get into more true crime stories, I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the case, really break it down and give my thoughts. If you don't know who Jodi Arias is, or you're not familiar with the case for some reason, Jodi Arias is responsible for a man named Travis Alexander in June of 2008. And you guys, I actually learned about this story watching Lifetime. Lifetime made a movie about it back in 2013 called Dirty Little Secret. Lifetime makes a movie about anything. So that's how I learned about it, and I was so intrigued by it then. So when I came across this video about the moments in her trial, I was like, oh, I should really do a breakdown of this because it's a very interesting story, you guys. Very, very interesting case. But you guys, the movie reveals a lot of things. The movie tells a story of a woman who fell in love with a man who really wasn't in love with her and was just kind of using her for sex. And this made her absolutely insane and psycho. But you guys, honestly, this happens to a lot of women. A man can literally have passionate sex with you without being in love with you. And a lot of women will confuse this for the man being in love when he's actually not. And this really makes a woman really crazy. So once Jodi found out that this is what was happening, that her and Travis only had a sexual relationship and nothing more was gonna come of it, this triggered her. Now that we've got that synopsis out of the way, let's take it back to the beginning. A 26-year-old Jodi Arias met 29-year-old Travis Alexander at a PPL conference in Las Vegas, September 2006. And apparently, you guys, the two had instant chemistry right away, and they started a long-distance relationship. You guys, they were really into each other. Travis even said to one of his friends that, he thought that he had found the one. He thought that Jodi was his wife. But according to a 2020 article, his friends really didn't take him saying that seriously. They thought him saying that was cute. But Travis's friends did express concern about Jodi. Travis's friends saw a bunch of red flags in Jodi. Travis kind of ignored it. When you're really into somebody, when you really like somebody, those red flags are Six Flags. Everyone around you sees the red flags except for you because you're so infatuated with that person. After being with Jodi for a while, Travis started to feel guilty about the relationship because they were having sex before marriage, and Travis was Mormon. And if you know anything about the Mormon religion, sex is forbidden before marriage. But Jodi was open to the religion. She ended up getting baptized. You guys, she got baptized for this man. My thing is, you guys, if he was so in love with Jodi, She even got baptized for him. Why didn't he just go ahead and marry her? But the reason he didn't marry her was because they had already had sex, and now he looked at her differently. He didn't look at her as pure anymore. He wanted to marry a pure Mormon woman. Now ain't that so? Jodi was eliminated altogether from being marriage material because they were having sex before marriage. You guys, I honestly feel like if Travis was really deeply in love with Jodi and he wanted her, he would have married her. All of that purity stuff, you know, the religion, all that would have been null and void, you know, if he really loved her. But he was not in love with her, you guys. Travis was infatuated with Jodi. He enjoyed her pleasuring him. After 5 months of them being together, Travis started listening to his friends and realizing this girl is possessive and just too much. And so he broke things off with her. And you guys, at that point, he really should have stopped messing with Jodi. Like, he really should have left her alone altogether, especially after he found out how possessive and a crazy she was. Like, he should have left her alone, but guys, he didn't. He didn't. He continued seeing her. He continued communicating with Jodi. She would seduce him, and he would fall weak to her flesh. On June 8th of 2008, Travis was found in his home. He had been 27 times, his throat was cut, and also he was guys, at this point Travis had been dead for 5 days, and later on it was discovered that Jodi was actually with him on June 4th, the 5 days before he was found. Now, when Jodi was questioned by police, she ended up creating this whole story about, you know, yes, she did see Travis on June 4th, but she made up a story that 2 intruders broke in and, you know, they ended up Travis and she fled the scene. But actually, police investigators ended up finding a camera in the washing machine that had an erased digital card in it. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this early on, but Jodi was a photographer. I'm not sure if she was a professional photographer at some point or if she was just doing photography as a hobby, but Jodi enjoyed taking photos. And so the images that were found on this erased card, they were able to retrieve the images, you guys, and the images were photos of Jodi and Travis on that day, on June 4th. Sexual images of, you know, them in the shower, what have you. But then also images were very dark. It was a wounded Travis. Very, very dark images of when Travis was killed. So, of course, after this evidence was found, Jodi was arrested. And you guys, of course, the case went to trial, and it was a long battle of, you know, Jodi lying and saying she didn't do it.
She had told me that she was never here. She had told me the last time she had seen Travis was in April.
I don't have a gun.
Were you at Travis's house on Wednesday?
Absolutely not. I was nowhere near Mesa.
And I have pictures of you in Travis's bedroom with Travis. Pictures of him. And it's obvious you guys are having sex. Taking photos of each other.
Are you sure it's me? Because I was not there.
There's so much evidence in that house. So much. And it all points to you.
And coming up with all sorts of fabricated stories to clear her name. But 2 years later, Jodi decided to tell the truth. She flat out told the truth that she did kill Travis, but in self-defense.
Did you kill Travis Alexander on June 4th, 2008?
Yes, I did.
Now the question is, why did Jodi Arias really kill Travis? Now, it's really unclear, you guys, of actually what happened when Jodi went to visit Travis on June 4th. There's been so many lies that she's told and so many twists and turns about what actually happened. But according to Jodi, her and Travis, they were in the bathroom and she started taking pictures of him with his new camera. And she said that he didn't like this. He got enraged, he got upset, and he lunged at her. And when he lunged at her, she shot him and 27 times and slit his throat, claiming self-defense. Now, according to Jodi, Travis had a different side to him.
Conversations I had with Travis, he was telling me about the conversation he had with Jodi where he told her, you know, it's over. I never want to see you again. You know, this is it.
But according to Jodi, there was a big difference between what Travis said and what Travis did.
He was an abusive person. He was a really nasty person, which most people just don't believe her. Most people think that, you know, she's trying to keep up this sort of facade. I don't know why, because she's already in jail. She's already been caught. But, you know, you guys, I don't know what to believe. This case is so bizarre. I do think that, you know, there's always three sides to a story, right? There's her side, his side, and the truth. Obviously, Travis isn't here to defend himself. You know, they did have a lot of things going on behind closed doors. Travis had a secret relationship, hence the movie, Dirty Little Secret. Travis was still, you know, seeing Jodi and nobody even knew, but he was still communicating with her. So I do believe that you never really know someone. I think Travis probably may have had a different side to him. You know, he was Mormon, but he was still having sex. So, you know, it definitely is clear that Travis was a different person. In my opinion, you guys, I definitely think that Jodi planned to kill him. I don't think it was self-defense at all, but I think this was a crime of passion. I think that Jodi knew that she really didn't mean anything to Travis, and you know, maybe she found text messages from another woman. Maybe she was jealous that he was dating somebody else. It could be an entire host of things, you guys, that we will never find out. But whatever it was, this girl was triggered. She was triggered. You guys, what happened to Travis can literally happen to anybody. I think Travis played with her emotions and her heart, and I think that made her really, really crazy. You know, many people will call Jodi a sociopath, and she definitely demonstrates that sort of behavior. There's a ton of information out there, you guys, about this case. If you actually really listen to the details about this case and about how Jodi was with Travis, man, this girl was nuts. But the only thing, she didn't have a history of, you know, this type of behavior with anyone else. And normally, I think people who are sociopaths, they follow a certain pattern. This girl really didn't up until this situation with Travis. You guys, this is something that I haven't heard anybody talk about, but everybody has that tick. Everybody has that trigger. That if you're pushed to a certain point, it probably will go off. You know, a lot of us know how to control it, right? A lot of us know how to do wusa yoga and control that little tick that if a toxic person is around us, we can kind of control that. But this didn't happen for Jodi. Jodi, her tick just went off and she just went in rage. But anyway, you guys, that's all that I have for this case. I hope that you have enjoyed this story and learning more about Jodi Arias, or just learning about it altogether if you didn't know at all. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Jodi is a sociopath, or do you just think she lost her tick? Leave me a comment. I will see you guys over on patreon.com and my other channel. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hi guys. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm creating for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.